To this ground, and liegemen to the Dane.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What? Has this thing appeared again tonight?
I see nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, but not let belief take hold of him. Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against what we have two nights seen. Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made its course to illume the part of heaven where it now burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one.
Peace! Break thee off! Look where he comes again!
In the same figure, like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar, speak to it, Horatio.
Looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio.
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Question it, Horatio. What art thou, that usurped this time of night, together in that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven I charge thee, speak!
See, it stalks away.
Stay and speak! "'Tis gone, and when I answer, before mine eyes, I might not disbelieve without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes. Is it not like the king? As thou art to thyself, 'tis strange. Thus twice before, and jumped to this dead hour, with martial stock by our watch. In what particular thought to work, I know not. But in the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state." Peace! There he goes again! I'll cross it, though it blast me! Stay, illusion! Speak to me! If there be any good thing to be done, that will to thee do ease and grace to me, speak of it. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak. Or if thou hast uphoarded in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of earth, for which they say you spirits oft walk in death, speak. Stay and speak of it.
It was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons. I have heard the cock that is the trumpet to the morn, doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day, and at his warning, whether in sea or fire, in earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit hies to his confine. But look, the morn, in russet mantle clad, walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him.
yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, and our whole kingdom be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion followed with nature, that we with wiser sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress of this warlike state, have we as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth and funeral and dirge and marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all, our thanks. Now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes?
My dread lord, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laboursome petition, and at last, upon my will, I sealed my heart consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. And now, my cousin Hamlet and my son.
No more than kin and less than kind.
Good Hamlet, cast thy knightly colour off, and let thy eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lid seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st his common. All that lives must die, passing from nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, 'tis common.
Well, if it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seemed, madam. Nay, it is. I know not seemed. 'Tis not alone in my inky cloak, good mother, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have that which in with passeth show. These are but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father. That father lost his. We pray you throw to earth this unprevailing woe and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note that you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. We beseech you, band you, to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, our cousin, and our son.
Do not let thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or at the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God! God! How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it! Ah, fie. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, and so loving to my mother that
he might not beteem the winds of heaven to visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on it, frailty thy name is woman, a little month, or ere the shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules, within a month. There yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes. She married. Oh, most wicked speed, post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. Break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I'm glad to see you well. Horatio! For I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, your poor sir in death.
And what make you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition, my lord.
I would not hear your enemies say so. I know you are no truant. But what is your fare in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray thee do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or ever I had seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man, taken for all in all. I shall not see his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father!
Season your admiration for a while with an attent ear, till I may deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, in the dead vast and middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure like your father appears before them, and with solemn march thrice he walked by ere oppressed and fear-surprised eyes within his truncheon's length, whilst they, distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to it. This to me in dreadful secrecy impart they did, and I with them the 3rd night kept watch, whereas they had delivered, both in time, form of the thing, each word made true and good. The apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this? My lord, upon the platform where we watched. Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it did lift its head and did address itself to motion as if it would speak. But even then, the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound, it shrunk in haste away and vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live my honored lord, 'tis true, and we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
What, looked it frowningly?
Countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
And fixed its eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
I would I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
I'll watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
Fare you well. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves is mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come. Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them, to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as for Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it fashion and a toy in blood No more.
No more. But so.
Think it no more. For nature crescent does not grow alone, but you must fear his greatness weighed. His will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain if with too great an ear you list his songs. Or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affections, out of shot and danger of desire.
I shall the effect of this good message keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny ways to heaven, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine himself the primrose path of dalliance treads.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. The wind sits in the sail of your shoulder, and you are stayed for.
I'm so sorry.
There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned act his thought. Be thou familiar, but by no means be vulgar. Thou friends thou hast, and their adoption tried. Grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. For loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This, above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow, as the night, the day, thou canst not be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you, go, your servants tend.
Oh, farewell, Ophelia. And remember well what I have said to you.
What is Ophelia he hath said to you?
So please you, my lord. Something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath oft of late given private time to you.
He hath of late made many tenders of his affections to me.
Affection. Pooh. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you. Tender yourself more dearly.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to, go to.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye. Springs to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood burns how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. I would not in plain terms from this time forth have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come, your ways.
I shall obey you, my lord.
What
hour now?
It draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and take his rouse, and as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and the trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, merry is it. But to my mind, the custom is more honored in the breach than the observance. This heavy-headed revel east and west makes us traduced intact above the nations. They clip us drunkards, and with swinish phrase soil our addition. And indeed, it takes from our achievement, though performed at height, the pith and marrow of our attribute.
Look, my lord, it comes!
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health, or goblin damned. Bring with thee airs from heaven or blast from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable shape, I'll speak with thee. I'll call thee Hamlet. King. Father. Royal Dane. Oh, answer me.
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it's some impartment did to you alone.
It will not speak. I'll follow it.
Do not go, my lord.
Why, what should be the fear? How do not set my life in a pin's fee? And as for my soul, what can it do to that? Being a thing immortal as itself. It weighs me forth. I'll follow it.
What if it tempts you toward the flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful summit of a cliff that beetles o'er his base into the sea, and there assume some other horrible form that might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it.
It weighs me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go.
My spirit cries out. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that likes me. I say, away.
Stop.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak! I'll go no further.
Mark,
I will.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fasting fires. But that I am forbid, to tell the secret of my prison house. I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul. List, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark was by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know this, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle.
I, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, won to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour thy uncle stole the juice of cursed Heaven in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour that leprous distilment. Thus was I, sleeping by a brother's hand, a life, crown, a queen at once dispatched, cut off, even in the blossoms of my sin, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible, most horrible. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor contrive thy soul against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near and begins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu. Adieu, Hamlet. Remember me.
Remember thee? Aye, thou poor ghost. While memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee? In thy commandment, all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Yes, my heaven.
Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain, smiling, damned villain. My tables. Meet it is, I set it down, that one may smile and be a villain. At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. And so, uncle, there you are. Now to my word, it is adieu, remember me. I have sworn it.
Hello, ho, ho, my lord. Hello, ho, ho, come!
How is my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
No, you're revealed.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
There's ne'er a villain dwelling in Denmark, but he's an errant knave. There needs no ghost come from the grave to tell us this.
Why, right. You are in the right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part.
Why, these are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I'm sorry if they offend you. Yes, faith, heartily.
No, there's no offense, my lord.
But there is, Horatio, and much offense too. It is an honest ghost, that let me tell you. And now, good friends, there be one poor request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight. Nay, but swear it.
Swear.
Upon my sword,
Propose the oath, my lord.
never to speak of this what you have seen. Swear by my sword.
Swear.
Oh, but day and night this is wondrous strange.
And therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than you have dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here, as before, never, so help you mercy, how strange or odd soe'er I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put into antic disposition on. To note that you know aught of me, this not to do. So grace and mercy at your most need help you. Swear.
Swear.
Rest, perturbed spirit.
We swear.
Time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together.
What's the matter?
My lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was in my sewing closet, Lord Hamlet, with doublet all unbraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered, and downgive to his ankle, pale as his shirt, knees knocking against each other, and with a look so piteous in purport as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
I do not know, my lord, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and he held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm. And then with his other hand, poised thus o'er his brow, he falls to such a perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he let out a sigh so piteous and profound as if to shatter all of his bulk and end his being, and that done, he lets me go.
Come, go with me. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property fordoes itself and does leads the will to desperate undertakings. Come. My good liege, I do think I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death and our hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift it.
I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is to be nothing else but mad. But let that go.
More matter and less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all, and he is mad. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true, a foolish figure, but farewell for it. I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then, and now it remains that we may find the cause of this effect, or rather say, the cause of this defect, for this effect defective comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus, perpend. I have a daughter, she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase. That's a vile phrase. But you shall hear. In her excellent white bosom, these
Take this from Hamlet to her.
Good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt that the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Thine evermore, most dearest lady, while this machine is to him, Hamlet. This, in obedience, hath my daughter shown me.
But how has she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man, faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. This must not be. And then my precepts gave her that she should walk herself from his resort, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, thence into a fast, hence into a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mournful.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be, very likely.
Had there been such a time, I'd fain know that I have said 'tis positively so, when it proved otherwise.
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if it be otherwise.
How do we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks for hours together here in the lobby.
He does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras then. Mark the encounter. If he love her not, and be not from his reason fallen thereon, let me be no assistant for a stage.
We will try it.
Oh, but look. And sadly, the poor wretch comes screaming.
Away! Away, I do beseech you, both away. I'll board him presently. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God have mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord.
Aye, sir, to be honest, as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000. For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a god-kissing carrion. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter would conceive. Friend, look to it!
Still harping on my daughter. Yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. What do you read, my lord?
Words.
I mean, what is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean, the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes are purging thick amber, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands. All which, sir, I most powerfully and potently believe. Yet hold it not honesty to have it thus set down for yourself, sir, should be old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go back.
How pregnant sometimes his replies are.
Ta-da! Two working masters, welcome all! Oh, good my lord. Will you see the players well bestowed? For, look you, they are the brief and abstract chronicles of the time. After your death, you would better have had a bad epitaph than their ill repute while you live.
I will use them according to their desert.
God's bodykins, man. Much better. For use every man after his desert, and who should escape whipping?
Come, sirs.
Follow him, friend. We'll hear a play tomorrow night. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. We'll hear it tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines which I would set down and insert in it. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord, and look you mark him not. Am I a coward? Swoons I should take it, for it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered in that gall to make oppression better. Or ere this I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's offal. Bloody, body villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain, oh, vengeance! Why? What an ass am I? This is brave, that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to revenge by heaven, and how must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing. Fion, about my brain. I have heard the guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tempt him to the quick. If he but blench, I'll know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and he hath the power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
For your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again. To both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, what you hear, gracious, so please you, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book. I hear him coming. Let's withdraw, my lord.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more. By sleep to say we end the heartache and 1,000 natural shocks the flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. Who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes when he might himself his quietest make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to those we know not of? And thus does conscience make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with disregard of their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. Soft you know, the fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord. How does my lord this many a day?
I only thank you. Well.
My lord, I have some remembrances of yours which I have longed to redeliver to you. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
Most honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take them back again.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty have better commerce than with honesty?
I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I loved you not.
Well, then I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I'm very proud, revengeful, ambitious, and with more offenses at my beck than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellows as I do, crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves, all believe, none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father?
He's at home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house.
Oh, help in you, sweet heavens.
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery! Go! Farewell! Or if thou wilt needs marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. I have heard of your paintings too. God has given you one face and you make yourselves another. You jig, you amble, you lisp, you make your wantedness your ignorance. Go to, I'll no more on it. It hath made me mad. I say we will have no more marriages. Those that are already married, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery, go.
Oh, what noble mind is here o'erthrown! And I of all ladies most deject, and wretched have sucked the honey of his music vows. Now, see that sovereign and most noble reason! Ah, woe is me! To have seen what I have seen, to see what I see.
Having quick determination thus set account, he shall with speed to England for the demand of our neglected tribute. Haply the seas and countries different with variable objects will expel this something settled matter in his heart. What think you on't?
It shall do well. But if he holds it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him. And I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their confidence. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness and great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as many of your players do, I had as lief the town criers spoke my lines. No, do not saw the air too much with your hand, but use all gently. For in the very torrent, tempest, and may I say whirlwind of passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul to hear a robustious, periwig-pated fellow tear a passionate tatters. I'll have such a fellow whipped for overdoing termagant. It out-Herods Herod. I pray you, avoid it.
I warrant your honor.
Be not too tame, neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word, and the word to the action, and with this special overstep not the modesty of nature. Now this, overdone, though it make the unskillful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve. There be players that I have seen play, and heard others praise, and that highly, not to speak it profanely, having neither the accents of Christian, nor the gait of Christians, pagans, nor man, as so strutted and bellowed, that I thought some of nature's journeymen had made men, and not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably.
Well, I hope we reform that indifferently with us, sir.
Oh, reform it altogether. And let those that play your clowns speak no more than is set down for them. For there be of them that will themselves laugh to set on some quantity of barren spectators to laugh too. Though in the meantime some necessary question of the play be then to be considered. That's villainous, and shows a most pitiful ambition in the fool that uses it. Go, make you ready. How now, my lord? Will the king hear this piece of work?
I'm the queen too, and then presently.
Bid the players make haste. Oh, Horatio!
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
If Claudius he will know, for I mine eyes will rivet to his face, and afterward will our judgments join in censure of his seeming.
Well, my lord, if he steal aught the whilst this play is playing, escape detecting, I will pay the theft.
They are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent, in faith. Of the chameleon's dish I eat the air, promise cram. You cannot beat me.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. But my lord, you played once in the university, you say?
That I did, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
Huh. What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol.
That was the brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there.
Come hither, good Hamlet, and sit by me.
No, good mother. Here's man more attractive. Oh, you mark that? Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
I, my lord.
You think I meant country matters?
I do nothing, my lord.
It's a fair thought. To lie between maids' legs.
What is my lord?
Nothing.
You're merry, my lord.
Who, I?
I, my lord.
Oh God! You're only jig maker! Why, what should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, my lord, 'tis been twice 2 months.
Oh heavens! So long? Died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet?
For us and for our tragedy, here, stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is it the prologue of the poesy of a rich,
'Tis brief, my lord.
as woman's love?
About the world's times 12's 30 spin. Since love, our hearts in hymen did our hands, unite communal in the most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er, ere love be done.
In faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My opera powers their functions leave to do, and live in this fair world behind. Honored, beloved, and happily one as kind. For husband shall thou.
Oh, confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband, let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first.
Wormwood, wormwood.
The instances that second marriage move are base respects of thrift, but none of love. A second time I kill my husband dead when second husband kisses me in bed.
I do believe you think now what you speak. For what we do, determine off we break. This world is not for I, and 'tis not strange that even with our loves, our fortunes change.
Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife, if once a widow ever I be wife.
If she should break it now.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
No, no offense in the world. They do but jest, poison in jest.
What do you call the play?
The mousetrap. 'Tis a knavish piece of work. But what of that? Your majesty and we that have free souls, it touches us not. Let the galled jade wince, our withers are unwrung. This one is Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You're as good as a chorus, my lord.
He poisons him in the garden for his estate. His name's Gonzago. You shall see anon how Gonzago wins the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises.
What? Friday with false fire?
There's my lord.
Give more the play.
Give me some light!
Lights!
Lights! Lights!
Lights! Let the stricken deer go away. Oh, good Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for 1,000 pounds. Didst thou perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the talk of the poisoning.
I did note him very well, my lord.
Aha! Come! The music! Come, the recorders! For if the king like not the comedy, why then belike he likes it not. Purdy! Come, some music!
Methinks it like a weasel. It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale?
Very like a whale.
I will come by and by. They fool me to the top of my bent. I will come by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. Leave me! It's now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. But soft. Now, to my mother.
My lord, he is going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras I'll convey myself to hear the process and warrant. She'll tax him home. And wisely as it was said, as you said, 'tis meet that some more audience than the mother should overhear the speech of vantage, since nature makes them partial. I'll call upon you, my liege, ere you go to bed, and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. My offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal elder's curse upon it of brother's murder. Pray, can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will, stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. Like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin in both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is it not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, A fence's gilded hand may shove by justice. And often, the wicked prize itself expels justice. 'Tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled to give even to the teeth and forehead of our thoughts evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? A wretched state, bosom black as death. Help, angels. Make it say, thou stubborn knees, all may be well.
Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is praying, and now I'll do it. And so I am revenged, and so he goes to heaven. That would be scam. A villain kills my father, and I, the same villain, send to heaven. Oh, this is higher in salary, not revenge. No. Up, sword, and know thou no hoard hand. When he is drunk, asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven and be as black and damned as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My thoughts fly up, my words remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight. I'll sconce me even here. Pray you, be round with him.
Mother!
Hear me not.
Mother!
Draw here.
Mother!
Now, what's the matter, mother?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Oh, come, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Well, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgotten me?
No, by the root, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother's.
Nay, then I will set those to you that can speak.
Come, sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Huh? Thou wilt not murder me? Whoa! Help! Help! Oh, help!
How now, all right? Send for a ducking!
No, no, no! What have you done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, God. What rash and bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king!
Aye, lady, 'twas my word.
What?
Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune, for thou find'st to be too busy some danger. Peace. Sit you down. And let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made penetrable stuff.
What have I done? That thou dost wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Oh, such an act as blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, makes marriage vows as false as dicers' oaths. Oh, such a deed is from the body of contraction, plus the very soul in sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face doth glow. Yea, this solidity and compound mass, with tristful visage as against the dune, is thought sick at the act.
I mean, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here, upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers, a combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. Here was your husband. And look you now what follows. Here is your husband. Like a mildew deer blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? How can you on this fair mountain leave the feed and batten on this war? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. For at your age, the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon judgment. And what judgment would from this to this, from this to this? Don't shame whether thy blush!
Hamlet, speak to me no more. Thou turnest my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and great spots as will not leave their teeth.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an inseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty side.
Speak to me no more. These words like daggers into my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet, please.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord.
No more!
King of shreds and patches. Oh, save me and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he is mad.
Have you not come your tardy son to chide? Oh, say!
Do not forget. His visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, stand between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest body's strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you? That you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Whereon do you look?
On him? On him, look you how pale he glares.
Whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all it is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No. Nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you, look, how it steals away my father in his habit as he lived.
This is the very coinage of your brain.
Mother, for love of grace, lay not that mattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them ranker.
Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart twain.
Oh, throw away the worser half and live the purer with the other half. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll bless and beg of you. For this same Lord I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel, only to be kind. Yes, bad begins and worse remains behind.
What shall I do?
Not this. By no means that I bid you do. Let the bloated king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him for a pair of reechy kisses or for paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you ravel all this matter out, that essentially I am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, you know that?
I forgot it is so concluded on.
Good night, mother. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Mother, good night.
Where is your son?
Oh, my lord, what have I seen tonight?
Oh, Gertrude, how does Hamlet?
Mad? As the sea and the wind would both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, he has killed the unseen good old man.
Heavy deed. It had been so with us had we been there. This liberty is full of threats to all. To you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how should this bloody deed be answered? Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, or whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metals base, shows itself to be pure. He weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch than we will ship him hence. In this vile deed we must, with all of our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Now, what hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us. Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper. Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are even at him.
Alas, alas!
A man may fish with a worm that hath ate of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed of that worm.
What dost you mean by this?
Nothing but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven? Send hither to see. Or if your messenger find him not there,
seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He will stay till ye come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, we must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it if thou knewest our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England! Farewell, mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Mother and father is husband and wife. Husband and wife is one flesh. And so, my mother. For England!
England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, thou mayest not coldly set our sovereign processes, which imports at full, by letters congruent to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England. For like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done. Ere mayhaps my joys are ne'er begun.
I will not speak with her.
She's importunate, indeed distract. Her moods will need be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father. Says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems, and beats her heart, and spurns enviously at straws. Speaks things that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. 'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in. Oh, to my sick soul, sin's true nature is. Each toy seems prologue to some greatness. Full of artless jealousy is guilt. Spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the most future friend?
How now, Ophelia? Oh!
How should I you love from another one? By his couple have
Pretty lady, what imports this song?
Say you? Nay, pray mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a crown stranger. Out his heels a stone.
Ophelia.
Nay! Pray mark. Wide his shroud as the mountain snow.
How do you, pretty lady?
Oh, God, don't you? Oh, God. They say the owl is a baker's daughter. Lord who knows who we may be, but may not know who we might be. God, get your table stirred.
Conceit upon her fathers. How long has she been thus?
We must be patient. We must be patient. It will be well. But I cannot choose believe. And I think that they should lay her in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. I thank my carriage. I thank you. Good night, fair ladies. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Good night, good night, good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. is the poison of deep grief. It comes not all from her father's death. Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions.
Where is he?
What noise is this?
Where's my father? Oh, thou vile king,
Laertes!
that drop of blood that's calm in me proclaims me bastard, cries couple to my father, burns the harlot even here, between the chaste, unmerged brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? Oh, nothing tangled with! To hell allegiance! Faust to the blackest devil. Let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father!
If you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, it's within your revenge that swoop-stake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser.
None but his enemies.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye.
How now? What noise is that? Ophelia! Oh, heavens! Could it be a young maid's wits be as old as an old man's life? Nature is fair and love, and waits his fine to send some precious instance of himself after the thing it lives.
They laid him barefaced on the bier. Hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty. And in his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
No!
Here's fennel for you, and columbines, and rue for you. Here's one for me. We may call it our graces Sundays. You must wear your rule with a difference.
There's a daisy. I would give you violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end.
Passion, thought and affliction. Hell itself she turns to favor and to prettiness.
Do you say this, oh God?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give to you in satisfaction.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, No sword, trophy, nor hatchment over his bones. No noble right, no formal ostentation cry to be heard, as sworn from heaven to earth that I must call to question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. But now your conscience must my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. Sith you have heard, and with the knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
Well, that well appears. But tell me, why you proceeded not against these feats, so trifle and so capital in nature, as by your safety, wisdom, all things else you mainly were stirred up.
Well, for two special reasons. The queen his mother lives almost by his looks. And for myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which, she is so conjunctive to my life and soul that as a star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to a public count I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mounts of all the age but for her perfections. But my revenge will come.
Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord. So you'll not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. We now return this checking in his voyage. And that means no more to undertake. I will work him to a device now right in my device, under which he shall not choose but follow. And for his death, no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
Oh, my lord, I will be the ruled the rather, if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of much since your travels, and that in Hamlet's hearing, about equality wherein they say you shine. Your sum of parts do not together pluck such envy from him as did that one. Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father. But what would you undertake to show yourself your father's son in deed, more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet return shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence and set a double varnish on your fame, and wager on your heads. He being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited and in a passive practice requite him for your father.
Yes, I will do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
If this should fail, when in your motion you are hot and dry,
yes,
make your bouts more violent towards that end. And then he calls for drink. I'll have prepared in the chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your poisoned stock.
Yes.
Our purpose may hold there. Come now, sweet queen.
One woe doth tread upon another's heel. So fast they follow. Your sister's dead. Laertes.
Dead. Oh, where?
There's a willow close to Scanted Brook. Shows its hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands, did she come, of nettles and crowflowers and daisies and deep purples. There, on a pendant bough, her cornet weeds clambering to hang, and the envious sliver broke, when down she and her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like, for a while they bore her up, for which time she chanted snatches of old tunes like one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued upon that element. But long it could not be, till her garments, heavy with the drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious life to bloody death.
Alas, then, she is drowned.
Drowned? Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. And yet it is our trick, nature her custom holds. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. A speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
But age with the stealing steps have clawed me in his clutch, and have shipped me into the land as if it never been
Whose grave's this?
mine, sir. Oh, what is a glade to be made, as if such a guest is me? What man dost thou dig it for? No man, sir. What woman, then? None neither. Who is to be buried in it? One that was a woman, but rest her soul, she's dead. How absolute the knave is. How long hast thou been a grave digger? Ever since the young Hamlet was born, and be Madden shipped into England. How long will the man lie in the earth after he rot? In faith, if he be not rotten before he die, as we have many cocky horses nowadays that scarce hold laying dead, he will last you 8 year or 9 year. A 10 will last you 9 year. Why he more than another? Why, sir? Well, his hide is so tan with his trade that he'll keep out of water a great while. While your water is the sore decayer of your horse and dead body. Here's the skull now. Laying in the earth for 20 years. Whose was it? A bad fellow's it was. Who'd you think it was? Nay, I know not. The same skull, sir, was your skull. The king's jester? This. Even that. Well, let me see. Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He has borne me on his back 1,000 times. Now, how poor it is in my imagination. My gorge rims at it. Here hung those lips that I've kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the whole table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning, quite chapfallen. Now, get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. But soft, soft, it's like... Queen, the courtiers. Who is this they follow?
Lay her in the earth. And from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring.
What? Fair Ophelia.
Sweets to the sweet. I'd hoped thou had been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have bedecked sweet maid, and not to have strewn thy grave.
No, hold off the earth a while. Till I caught her once more in my arms.
Pile your dust upon the quick and dead! What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane! The devil take my soul! No! Take thy fingers from my throat. Perhaps something in me dangerous which let thy wife to fear. Hold off your head! I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her? Why do you use me thus? I loved you ever. But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew and the dog will have his day.
I pray you, good Horatio, wait a while. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.
So much for this, sir. Now shall you see the other. You do remember all the circumstance.
Remember, my lord.
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Up from the cabin, in the dark, groped I to find out him. Had my desire, fingered the packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, to unseal this grand commission where I found Horatio. Oh, royal knavery. In exact command that my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not? Thinkest thee, stand me now upon ye that have killed my king and whored my mother to quit him with this arm? And is it not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil?
It will be shortly known from England, too.
It will be short. The interim is mine. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his, or court his favors. But, sure, the bravery of his grief did put me in a towering passion.
Peace! Who goes there?
Your lordship is right. Welcome to Denmark. I humbly thank you. Dost thou know this water slide?
No, my lord.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I shall impart the thing from you to his majesty.
I will receive it with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use. He's for the head.
Sweet lord, thank you, but it is very hot.
No, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
Laertes, believe me, is an excellent gentleman. I know you are not ignorant of his skills.
To know a man well, or to know himself?
The king, sir, have laid a dozen passes between yourself and him. He shall not exceed you 3 hits. He have landed 12 for 9. And it shall come to immediate trial when your lordship vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
My lord, the opposition is your person in trial.
I will win for him, and I can. If not, I shall gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I redeliver that even so?
To this effect, sir, after what flourish your nature will.
I commit my duty to your lordship.
Yours? Yours?
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither. Say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury.
Come, Hamlet. Come. Take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong. But pardon it, as you are a gentleman. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot mine arrow over the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature. But in terms of honor, I stand aloof and will no reconcilement. But I do receive your offered love as love and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely and will this brother's wager frankly play.
Come. Cousin Hamlet, you know the way.
Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both. And since he is better, we have therefore odds. Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath. And let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannoneers without, the cannons to the heavens to earth. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you the judges bear a wary eye.
Play!
One? No.
Judgment? A hit! A very palpable hit!
Well, again.
Stay. Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this spout first. Set it by a while. Begin!
What say you?
A touch? A touch of confess.
Our son shall win.
Oh, his fat and scanted breath. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good, you do not drink.
I pray you pardon me, my lord, I will.
I dare not drink that, madam. By and by.
Oh, I wipe thy brow.
Use the poison cup. It is too late.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think it.
And yet it is almost against my conscience.
For the third, Laertes, you but dally.
Say you so? Come on then.
Haven't you now?
My man, they are incensed.
They bleed on both sides. What is murder?
Why is a woodcock to my name? I'm just killed by mine own country.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
Oh, villainy! Let the doors be locked!
Hamlet! It is here. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand. Unbated and envenomed, the foul practice hath laid itself on me low. Here I lie, never to get up. Your mother's been poisoned. I can no more. King, the king's to blame.
The point. Envenomed too. Envenomed? By what?
No!
Oh, yes, we've been friends.
Dear thou incestuous, murderous damn thing, drink up this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother!
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Hamlet. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I'll follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched being, adieu. Those that are pale or tremble at this chance, that have been mutes or audience to this act, had I but time, as this fell Sergeant Death is most strict in his arrest. But let it be, Horatio. I'm dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied. Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. Here there's liquor still. Oh, good Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall live behind. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, to tell my story. What warlike noise is this? Oh, I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite overcrows my spirit. The rest is silence. Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?